What's up, my people? What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We got work to do today. We have work to do today. Today, we are talking about how to stop repeating old cycles. Today we are talking about how to stop repeating old cycles and old lessons. What's up, Shanae? I just want to say thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm so grateful to be doing the work that we are doing. Thank you. Family, I want to talk to y'all really quickly about how to stop repeating old cycles. How to stop doing the same things over and over again and really forcing yourselves to learn the same lessons. What we call that is insanity. But before we get into it, I have a song for y'all that I love. It's called Insanity by Gregory Porter. And he says, how did we ever lose our minds and fall apart, knowing we're the only ones to heal each other's hearts? Bring your love on back to me. Stop this insanity before we go too far. See, when we keep on repeating cycles, we're really insane, and sometimes things get too far gone, and it's hard to bring ourselves back. Okay? He says, how did we ever lose our way? And try to say love is a losing game. Should've never tried to play. Bring your love on back to me. Stop this insanity before we go too far. Stop the insanity, family, before we go too far. We have to stop, right? And so really quickly today, I want to talk to y'all about how to get out of that insanity, how to get out of doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting a different result. It doesn't happen, okay? It doesn't work like that. The only way that you get to move forward and get out of being stuck or get out of doing the same things over and over again is by getting uncomfortable. Shout out to my new coach, Shanae, who is over here on Instagram, whose lesson today in our coaching session was about getting uncomfortable. Okay? And so if you're stuck in a repetitive cycle, it's because you're so used to doing something one way and you're expecting to get these new results. You're expecting to manifest something different, and it just doesn't work that way. Okay? So hello, hello, hello to everyone. Let me take a moment to say what's up to the beautiful family on Instagram and YouTube. What's up, Rising Vibes? What's up, Jornetta? What's up, Eileen? What's up, Dream? What's up, Will? What's up, Tangela? What's up, Mike Long D? What's up, D Exadis? What's up, Latha? What is up over here on Instagram? What's up over here on Instagram? Boy, hey, something that starts with a B. You said good evening, boy. 2 million. You're gonna have to teach me how to say your name. What's up, Blue Dream of hers? What's up? What's up? All right. So, y'all, getting uncomfortable, allowing yourself to be uncomfortable is really the start of transformation. It's really the start of transformation. And one of my biggest things is I remember vividly, y'all, when I wanted to get a higher paying job, right? I wanted to get a higher paying job. I was actually working as a PE aide, right? Making only like I want to say $1,200 a month. So really could not afford to take care of myself as a grown adult. I was working as a PE aide at an elementary school. And I was doing I had all the accolades. I had the degree. I had the experience. I had those things, but it wasn't turning over for me to get that job that I truly wanted, which was to be a high school PE teacher and a head volleyball coach, right? Okay. So I had all of the accolades and all of those things, but in that job as a PE aide, I was so comfortable. And I was so comfortable there that I would show up to work late every day. I was uncomfortable with the amount of money that I was making at the time. I couldn't sustain my own life, right? I couldn't take care of myself on $1,200 a month, right? And at that point, I was already a mom, okay? And so I was stuck in this old loop, this old cycle of, okay, I'm putting out the work. I'm putting my resume out there. I'm getting these interviews, but it's not turning over into this new creation, this new life, this new manifestation that I'm desiring to manifest, right? And one day, my spirit, my higher self, my intuition was like, the reason why you are not getting a new job is because you struggle with time. The reason why you are not being put in position to accomplish greater, to create something new, is because I was consistently comfortable with being late to this job. Like in my mind, I was like, well, this job don't pay me enough anyway, so I'm just going to be late. They don't even pay me enough, so I don't even care. I'm just going to be late. And Spirit had told me it's not even my issue with time, my issue with being on time to places. It was not just present at that job, but it really expanded across many different areas and aspects in my life. It was a repetitive cycle. And it was insane of me to think that I was going to be able to create a new life, a new reality, a new experience while holding on to old patterns of thinking, old patterns of being, old ways of doing things, old habits that were not in alignment with where I needed to go. Okay? That were not in alignment with where I needed to go. And so I had to make myself uncomfortable and set my alarm clock to wake up hours before the time I was supposed to be at work so that I didn't have to have that rushing energy, so that I can get up, do my little self-care rituals, and get to that job on time, though it wasn't paying me enough. Do you guys know within a week, I want to tell y'all, within 1 week of me disciplining myself and getting to that job on time, I was offered a new job in the position that I wanted, which was a high school PE teacher and a head volleyball coach. Okay? So I literally had to do something different in order to create a new reality. So I want to talk to y'all really quickly about how to stop repeating old cycles and learning old lessons. That lesson for me was, if I can't make it somewhere at the desired time, at the expected time in my physical reality, then spiritually, internally, cosmically, I'm not making it to these certain divine appointments that I am supposed to be at in order to transform my life. I was late in different spiritual aspects. There were concepts, there were understandings that I should have already mastered, understood, learned from, grown from. But because I had this issue with being somewhere at a specific time, it carried over into all aspects of my life. And right in that moment, when I told myself I'm going to be on time, I'm going to make it to where I got to go, everything started aligning for me. And I ended up being where I needed to be, when I needed to be there. And everything always just works out. So, with that being said, I want to talk to y'all really quickly about how to stop repeating old cycles, how to stop having to learn the same old lessons. Okay? Because technically, what we're talking about is being insane. We want this different result. We want to create the healthy relationships. We want to manifest the business. We want to manifest the prosperity. We want to manifest the financial freedom. But we're not willing to do something different, and we don't understand how we keep on going around and round and round and round, stuck in these same cycles, stuck in these same circles, having the same conversations over and over and over again. Y'all ever look up and you're like, didn't we just talk about this last week? Weren't we just doing the same thing last year? We keep on saying the same thing over and over and over again, but nothing is changing. Okay? So I want to talk to y'all really quickly about how to get out of these same old cycles, these old lessons where we feel stuck and we feel like we are in this time loop or in this time warp. Okay? I don't know what's going on here. All right? What is going on? We limit how often you can do certain things on Instagram. Protect our community. Tell us we make a mistake. Instagram, I don't know what's going on here. Something keeps popping up on my phone. Okay? So, okay. Jeez Louise. Don't know what's going on Instagram, y'all. So anyways, how do we do this? How do we get off the merry-go-round, and how do we start creating and manifesting this new reality? The first thing that you really have to understand, family, is you have to understand where this thought, this emotion, this habit stems from. Okay? And so in whatever ways you are feeling stuck, in whatever ways you are feeling confined, you have to figure out where that stems from. What in your mind created this habit? What in your experience has created the same thought form? What in your experiences has created the same emotional response to everything, or to this specific trigger? For me, my mom was never a person that was on time, right? When they say CP time, color people time, that was something that we were literally on. We were probably always going to show up somewhere late. Rarely were we showing up to places on time. So this was really a learned behavior for me. And it stemmed from and it come from having a mom who had to take care of 3 kids, had to get 3 kids to 3 different places. So she's running around. She, like I said, y'all, I had a single mom, a powerful woman, but she would stretch herself so thin to make sure that we all got to where we needed to go, to make sure that we all had what we needed to have. And so that habit of, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, and not really planning and scheduling things out and saying no to certain things, I got from her. Okay? My mom would take on everything on her plate. My mom would put everything on her plate. She's not worried about nothing. She's going to make it happen. It's going to happen. It may be late, but it's going to happen. So that's the kind of mother that I had. As a single mom, we may not be everywhere on time, but we're going to get there, right? I want to light my incense. We might not be everywhere on time, but we're going to get there. And so that's kind of where I learned that habit from. I learned that the habit of being late, of being tardy, from my mom. And so, y'all, the first thing that you have to understand when it comes down to getting out of these repetitive cycles, getting out of these loops, getting unstuck, the first thing that you have to figure out is where this habit, whether it's a physical behavior that you feel like you cannot stop doing. It could be smoking. It could be being late. It could be sleeping till 12 o'clock in the middle of the day. Whatever that habit is that you feel like is standing in the way of you getting to where you got to go, you need to first understand where it comes from. Whatever that thought process is, it may be, I don't feel like I'm good enough. It may be, I'm insecure. It may be people are not going to like what I say, or people are not going to like what I want to do. Whatever the thought is, the emotion The emotion may be abandonment. The emotion may be rejection. The emotion may be jealousy. Whatever the emotion, the thought, the behavior is that stops you from moving forward, that you keep on feeling yourself come back around to, you need to understand where that comes from. You need to understand when was my first experience of this certain thing? When did I first feel rejected? When did I first feel abandoned? When did I first feel jealous? When did I first feel insecure? When did I first feel like I wasn't good enough? Okay? So you cannot get out of a cycle. You cannot get out of a lesson. You cannot get out of this repetition if you don't understand where it comes from first. A lot of times we like to heal on the surface. A lot of times we like to transform on the surface. I thought I was doing everything correct when I was working at that job. I was like, I'm a damn good teacher. My resume is good. I know that I'm a great coach. I know that this is so on the surface, all of the physical things that I needed to manifest a new job, I had. But it was a thought process and it was a behavior that was keeping me stuck in that one place. Okay? So first, you want to understand where those behaviors, like Dream said, the alcoholism, the addiction to drugs, the sex, the attachments, where does that stuff stem from? I told y'all, for me, my mama was always late to stuff. She's better now, but I realized that she was always late because she would put so much on her plate. And I still do this from time to time now. Okay, I still do this from time to time now, and I have to remind myself, okay, I can't do every single thing. Some things just have to wait. Okay? So I had to realize where that came from, where that stemmed from. That's the first thing, family. The first thing you need to know when you're trying to break a cycle, when you're trying to stop having to learn this same lesson. A lot of y'all have this in relationships. You keep manifesting the same type of person just with a different face. And you're like, what the hell? Why do I keep on having to date this same type of person? It's because you don't even understand what in you attracts you to that person. What in you is attached to that type of person. So in order for you to learn a lesson and break free from these old repetitive cycles that are no longer serving you, you have to first understand where it stems from. Why do I do this? Why do I think like this? Why do I feel like this? Why do I act like this? That's the first step. Okay? And here's the thing. From what I see in my coaching, a lot of times people can say on the surface, oh yeah, my mom used to do that. That's where I get that from. You can say that on the surface, but I need you to be able to go deeper. I need you to be able to go deeper into that so that you give yourself the space and the opportunity to really transform it. Just staying on the surface, oh yeah, my mom used to do that, so that makes sense. Well, let's talk about why your mom did that, or what can you observe from your mom as to why she did that, and how does that now affect you? How does your mom's actions affect you? What did it make you think? How did it make you feel? How does it cause you to behave and act? Okay? Let me know in the chat that y'all get that first step. The first step is understanding why. And one simple technique in the chat, go ahead and put a thumbs up. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you understand that first step, understanding why. Okay? An easy way or an easy technique for you to get down to the why is to keep asking yourself why. Don't stop with the first answer. Okay? Let's not stop with the very first answer. The very first answer that comes up is typically the surface answer. The very first answer that comes up when you ask yourself, why do I like drinking alcohol every single weekend? Most of the time, that first answer that comes up, that's your surface answer. You probably need to ask why about 3 or 4 more times until you get to the source. Okay? You probably need to ask why 3 or 4 more times until you get to the source. So when you get an answer, you ask why again. And then when you get that answer, you ask why again. Then when you get the next answer, you ask why again. You just keep asking yourself why until you completely exhaust all of the reasons as to why you think, feel, and act the way that you do. But why? Okay, why? All right, well, why? Why is such a great question? Okay, so you keep asking yourself why until you get down to that deep source, to the start. I'm glad to see all those thumbs up in the chat. I'm glad to see those thumbs up in the chat. And then here's what I also want to let y'all know. Go ahead now and start preparing your mind with questions about getting out of these old cycles, because I want to answer some questions before I get off of here today. So go ahead and start thinking about these cycles and feeling stuck, because I want to talk to y'all about that today. So go ahead and get those questions in your mind as we are continuously going through the rest of this content. The second step, family, once you understand your why, you really have to become the alchemist and transform your perception. See, like I said, I understood that being late and not showing up to places on time was something that I observed from my mother. And why she was never on time was because she had put so much on her plate as a single mom. She was going to basketball practice, volleyball practice, school performances, having to work a job, having to cook for the kid. She had so much on her plate that there was nothing that was going to stop her from doing what she needed to do for her kids. Okay. And so that may have meant I'm gonna be a little bit late to work today because I got to take my daughter here. I'm gonna be a little bit late because I got to take my son here. And so I learned that my mother did that because she overexerted and she really stretched herself out thin. Okay? She really stretched herself out thin is what she did. And I realized she did that because being a mom was her number one priority. Not her own personal purpose, not her job, not anything that has to do with her alone. Everything that she did was for us, her children. And I appreciate that. But the transformation that I had to take up within my mind is that in order for me to be the best mom, in order for me to be the best business owner, in order for me to be the best partner, I have to take care of myself first. Right? And because I know I want to create something new, and because my spirit has told me, for the simple fact that I am not honoring and having gratitude for what I have right now, because clearly I didn't have gratitude for that job at the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been showing up late. Otherwise, I would have taken it seriously. I wasn't grateful for what I had in the moment. And spirit is like, because you are not grateful for what you have in the moment, you're not going to get anything else. Okay? And so I had to discipline myself. I had to transform my mind, and I had to decide, you know what? I'm going to get up early so I don't have to rush, so I can take care of myself, ease my way into this job, and really open myself up to be available for more. Okay? So the second step again, family, is transforming how you perceive that situation that manifested you having this specific thought, you having this specific behavior, you having this specific emotion. Okay? Let's put a 2. Let's put a 2 in the chat. If you understand that in order for you to transform, in order for you to create something new, you have to transform how you think about the source. You have to transform how you think about that first experience that caused you to start thinking, acting, and feeling a certain way. Because once you change your perception on an experience, your feelings change, your thoughts obviously change, and your behaviors change. Let's put a 2 in the chat if y'all get that. Only 2 people on 3 people. Okay, y'all, come on, let's go. I want to make this as plain as possible because I know I talk to so many people on a regular basis, and it's like I just feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm sitting up here telling you, one, you need to figure out where that behavior, where those feelings, where those thoughts stem from. You need to figure out where it stems from. Okay? Once you figure out where it stems from, where it comes from, the second thing that you have to do is transform your perception, your beliefs surrounding it. So I had to say, you know what? It's not okay that my mom was always late to these different places. I understand that she's a damn good mama. I understand she is a mother who sacrificed everything, but that doesn't make it okay for her to be late to her obligations. That doesn't make it okay for me to be late to the things that I'm obligated to. That doesn't make it okay for me to be late to what's putting some food on my table. Okay? I had to transform that idea because at first in my mind it was okay. At first it was just like, oh, whatever. I get there when I get there. They see me when they see me. I'll get there when I get there. At first that's how I used to think. And Spirit was like, no, having that mentality means you are not grateful for the little. And when you're not grateful for the little, you cannot have dominion over the big. If you are not grateful for what you have now, why would Spirit bless you with more? And so I had to start being on time to show my higher self, to show my spirit, to show the divine that I am grateful for this stepping stone. Because that's what this was. It was a stepping stone. It was a support. It was an opportunity that was going to help me to get to where I needed to go. And it did. Okay? And it did. So the third step, family, the third step, after we have transformed our perception, after we've transformed our beliefs, after we've started thinking differently about it, the third step is to become present. What does that mean, to become present? To become present means to become conscious, to become aware of where you are right now. Y'all hear me? You need to become aware of where you are right now. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, water from this Emoto water bottle, the water just seemed like it just tastes better. It's the same water that I would get out of my regular little bottle, spring water or whatever. But in this container, it just tastes better. So good. So good. If you don't got one yet, you're asleep. You're asleep. You're asleep if you don't got one yet. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, it is strong water, Deja. It is strong water, right? So next, the third step, the final step, you have to become present. See, some of y'all are missing your opportunities because you are on autopilot. You're sleepwalking. I know y'all conscious. I know y'all are all into the spirituality, into meditation and all of that stuff. But if you cannot recognize where you are at present and you keep on repeating the same cycle, thinking these same thoughts, feeling these same feelings, acting the same way, behaving the same ways because you're not present, you're really stuck in that time warp. When you are triggered, those are an opportunity. Those moments of being triggered, those moments of being triggered, that's the opportunity to become so focused on the moment so that you can do something different. But oftentimes those emotions, those thoughts, they take over, and you done time travel back to 1992. You done time travel back into the 2000s. Okay? You done time travel back to 85. All right? And that is because you are not present. You are not present at those moments When you're repeating the same thing, you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're attracting the same person, you're attracting the same circumstances. That is your shadow self, that inner child, that person, that aspect of you that you haven't dealt with. That's who is at play in that present moment. It's not you, the higher self. It's not you, the higher mind. And so in those moments where you found yourself repeating, in those moments where you're like, damn, I just had this same conversation the other day, and I ain't talking about deja vu. In those moments where you're like, wow, I'm really doing the same thing again. In those moments, that is when you are supposed to become super attentive so that you can consciously choose to do something different. Your higher self, your spirit, your intuition is always communicating with you. It's always giving you the answers. It's always putting you on game, so to speak. Okay? But because you are so attached to the thought, because you are so attached to the emotion, because you are so attached to the experience that is happening around you, you're not allowing the space for your spirit, for your higher self to give you the guidance to understand how to create a new reality in that experience. Put a 3 in the chat if you understand. Put a 3 in the chat if you understand, if you understand, and if you are ready to do this work. Put a 3 in the chat if you understand, and are ready to do this work. Okay? You got to become present in each moment. You got to bring yourself here, now, present. This is what you have to do. You got to understand why. Once you understand why, you have to transform your perspective on that situation. Once you transform your perspective, the next thing is to become present in each moment so that you can consciously choose how you are going to react. So that you can consciously choose how you are going to move forward. It is in those moments where you get to be like, I'm going to do something different. Because I want to see what the manifestation, I want to see what the transformation, I want to see what the change is going to be now that I am consciously choosing to do something different. Okay? It's really simple to get out of these cycles. The difficult part is asking yourselves the right questions to get to the truth, to get to the depth, to get to the source of it. Asking yourself the right questions, that's the difficult part. Finding the light in that dark tunnel, finding the light in this thing that you've been feeling stuck in, that may be the difficult part. Becoming present, that could be the difficult part. Okay? So listen, I want to tell y'all, in the class that I'm doing, we are having a mini course, Healing from Toxic Family and Intimate Relationships. How to heal from toxic, intimate, and family relationships. That class is happening August 15th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. No, that's not Eastern. Central Standard Time. So that'll be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you need to make sure that you're on Patreon so that you can get into that course, because I'm going to go into even deeper detail into this aspect, but specifically when it comes to your relationships. Because one of the ways that you really can see that you are the crazy one is that you keep on manifesting the same people. You manifest a friend who act like your mama. You manifest a boyfriend who reminds you of your daddy. Or your boyfriends remind you of each other. Your girlfriends remind you of each other. You're like, damn, y'all the same exact person. And it's not them, it's you. It's not them, it's you. You have to be the one to change the way you are thinking, the way you are feeling, the way you are behaving, if you want to attract a different person, if you want to attract a different situation, if you want to attract a new experience. You have to be the one to change. And then everything in your external reality will also change. Okay? Let me look at some questions in the chat. Again, throw you a question in the chat. I'm going to look in the chat, answer some questions for y'all. Again, that class is going to be August 15th, my mother's birthday, Nipsey Hussle's birthday, August 15th. We got about 2 weeks into that class, a little bit under 2 weeks for that class. So you need to make sure that you are on Patreon. If you're not on Patreon, you can buy the class straight up on Teachable and be in the live session. The class will be live via Zoom. Let's see what we have here. Mike says, is a part of the work being more public to see any actual growth? Is a part of the work being more public? I want you to go deeper, Mike, into that question. Okay, wait. Is a part of the work being more public to see any actual growth? Is a part of the work being more public? So I want you to go into greater detail in that question. Because here's the thing. The work that you do, it doesn't have to be public. It's a private work. It's an intuitive work. It's your own work. But here's the catch. The more you can speak about your transformation, the more you can share your aha moments, the more you get to transmute some of that karmic energy to create a different reality for yourself. Why? Because when you talk about the lessons that you've learned and the ways that you've gained, the way that you've transformed, the things that have helped you to grow and be your best self, and another person implements that, it inspires someone else, it encourages someone else, right? You've just done some spiritual work that is going to cause a shift in somebody else's spirit and in somebody else's soul. I said this on a past video. The more vulnerable you are, the more you are willing to be exposed, the more you are willing to show yourself, the more spirit is going to protect you. Because spirit is like, oh, you are not so overly consumed in this humanity. You understand that this humanity is for your learning, for your growth, for your evolution. It's a school. And because it's a school, people can always learn from your public display of you expressing where you've come from. Okay? Because it's a school, everybody can always learn from your example. Okay? Is a part of the work being more public? Anybody else have a question before we get out of here? Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. What if you aren't attracting anyone? I used to attract mess. Now nothing. That's a great question, Maria. I love that question. You really need to ask yourself, do you want to be attracting someone right now? Because subconsciously, it may be a time of you not manifesting a relationship because you are to be so deep into your own personal work. And maybe you know subconsciously in your past, when you would attract certain relationships, they would distract you from doing the work that you need to do. So maybe spiritually, you need to be getting so deep into your personal work, so deep into yourself, that when someone does manifest in your reality, you are already so set and disciplined in your spiritual practices. Okay? So it sounds like you are in a space where your subconscious mind is like, nah, I'm blocking anything from coming into your space so that you can focus on yourself. And then when you are ready, see, the subconscious knows all. When you are ready, you will attract someone who's going to support your spiritual practices, who is going to support your spiritual disciplines, and who is not going to distract you from staying focused on what's most important. Okay? All right. And you attracting mess was because you had a whole bunch of mess going on inside of you. Let's just be real. You attracting mess was because you had mess going on inside of you. You attracting nothing right now is because you're cleaning out that mess. You're clearing out all of that stuff that was going on inside of you. You cleaning out all of that stuff so that you can start fresh, so that you can be open to receive something new. Okay? So that you can be open to receive something new. But you got to clear that all out first. And it sounds like you are in that process. Spiritual awakening. Yes, I feel distracted. I feel I am blocking everyone. I must stay focused. And here's the thing, y'all. You got to pay attention to that because you don't want your conscious mind to be what's blocking everybody from manifesting in your experience, from manifesting in your life, because you may be blocking someone who can support you in this spiritual journey and on this spiritual path. Okay? Your conscious mind cannot fathom what your subconscious, what your spirit, what your higher self has going on. What is at play? Your conscious mind is too logical, too rational. It's too one, two, three, four. It's too linear. And so you want to stay in tune with self, your higher self, and don't block everybody who is manifesting in your experience, because you may be blocking someone who is supposed to support you and someone you are supposed to support in manifesting in the spiritual journey. Okay? And it's good, y'all, to be conscious of when you are not ready for a relationship. But here's the thing. At the same time, y'all can't be so conscious about this stuff. Because when you're like, yeah, oh, I already know I'm not ready for no relationship, that's when spirit may throw somebody in your life out of nowhere who is going to help you to be more spiritual, or to tap deeper into your spirit, to tap deeper into your understanding. I told y'all when I met Dream, I was just coming out of a depression. Not when I met him, but when we decided to get together, I was just coming out of a space of being depressed. And I would have never thought that I was going to be in a relationship. I would have never thought that. But that's what happened. That's what happened. And in our relationship, I've been able to kind of really pull away so many illusions, so many lies, so much insanity, so much craziness, and how I was living my life. I would have never thought that I was ready for a relationship, but there was something in his energy and something in my energy that said, we need to be together so that we can move forward in this spiritual journey. All right? So I appreciate y'all for asking the questions. Love it, love it, love it. Peace to everybody. I love being on here building with y'all. Make sure y'all join Patreon so that y'all can be a part of that class, especially if you are feeling stuck in your relationships, if you're feeling like the craziness, if you don't like your mama, you don't like your daddy, you don't get along with your kids, if you can't get over your past relationship, you need to be in the class. That's a great question, Mike. And I think if it's flowing from you, like if you have this internal pull to do it, you absolutely should. But let me throw in this but. Public speaking or putting yourself out there, it's personal for you. So it may cause you to transform your life like crazy. It may cause you to, it may help you to level up. But for some other people, it may cause them to be so deep in their egos that they totally forget spirit and they're just doing it all for clout. So there's no for sure answer to that. You just must do what is being called from within you to do. Okay? It's no one shoe fits all. It's no one size fits all. It's no, oh, if you do this, this is going to happen. No. There's some people who get on camera and they are so in their ego and they're so, they're masturbating to content. They're masturbating to knowledge and they're not transforming. We see it all the time. Okay? So if you feel that internal pull, then yes, you go for it and you see what happens. Okay? You see what happens. But definitely, like Dream said, it seems like that's something that you should do if you feel that internal pull. Mika, that question is so vague, just to be honest. I would recommend a book called Letting Go by, what's my guy's name? Letting Go. Can't think of his name, Mika, but you can buy this book on Amazon. It's white and yellow. I think his name is David something, but I can't figure it out. I can't consciously come up with the whole name, right? David something. letting go. David Hawkins. Come on, Kiana. David Hawkins. Letting Go by David Hawkins. Good book. That question is too vague, though, Mika. How do you let go? Let go of what? What are you needing to let go of? What's happening in your mind? What's happening in your emotions? Maybe you need to do breath work. Maybe you need to do yoga. Maybe you need to exercise. It just depends on what we're talking about. Okay? If we're talking about emotions, you need to find a healthy outlet for those emotions, whether it's crying, screaming, yoga, dancing it out, fighting it out, right? We're talking like it's so much that goes into that is too vague. Get on a call though. Feel free to call me. Feel free to set up your complimentary call and we can do it. Get that David Hawkins book. What, babe? What you say? You seen my first. Okay, I'm gonna let it go. You seen my first. I don't know what you talking about, Dreamwise. Anyways, y'all, if that's all for the questions, I'm gonna get out of here. No, Dream, yours came second. Kiana came first with the David Hawkins. I appreciate both of y'all though because it's a great book. It's a great book. It's a great book. So I appreciate y'all. Love you lots. Yeah, let's connect. I hope to see y'all in the class. I hope to see all of y'all in the class. Y'all already know I'm going to give you the steps, the process, the understanding on how to heal from toxic family and intimate relationships. You need this work, all right? We'll talk soon. Y'all have a happy Monday. Happy Monday. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.